Good morning, good evening, and good day. Thank you so much for watching Attack Power Gaming. I got a really exciting video for everyone here today. I got to cast with Hobotango, who is another Steel Division 2 content creator here on YouTube. Go check him out if you don't already, if you're not already subscribed to him. And if you enjoy this content, please make sure to like the video and subscribe for more of this sort of content. I hope to cast with him a little bit more in the future. It's a nice 2v2 game. I hope you guys all enjoy. Let's dive right in.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Steel Division 2. Today I'm here with Attack Power Gaming.
Hello everybody.
And together we're gonna do a team game here that was sent to me by Von Lucy. And Attack Power, what do you think of these players in Division right now?
Well, this is definitely a very interesting setup here, Hobo. We got our allied team here. We have the 358th Strelke and the DFL, first DFL, on V for Victory and Maverick, which I'm not a huge team gamer, but that seems like an odd choice to me Maverick-wise. Usually I would think you'd want a lot of points because these games generally go long. And then on the Axis side, we have Badger Jelly with the Lovas and Mr. Plasmid with a personal favorite of mine, the 78 Sturm. Mr. Plasmid on a balanced and Badger Jelly with a Vanguard choice, which is definitely very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's pretty odd. I'm thinking Badger Jelly, since he's playing Lovas, he'd want to really get into the face of his opponent as soon as possible, and maybe count on that push, that initial push, to put him at bay. But yeah, it's pretty odd. I gotta say with you. Same thing with Von Lucy playing DFL in Maverick. Well, you know, I'm a balanced player, but it seems like DFL should be played balanced because there's so much they can bring to the table in sea face in terms of artillery and planes and all that that could be useful into a team game.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility. Now, I will say that the choice of the 358 Strelke is a strange one for me. I think that division is pretty terrible. Now, of course, I say that, and I'm going to run into it in quick play, and someone's going to wreck me with it, and I'm going to be sitting there with, you know, eat my own words here. But I have never thought of this as one of the strongest divisions, and it doesn't matter how many buffs it's gotten, it still hasn't been a very strong division.
It's a bit like, you know, the division could be bad even if you get beaten by it, so don't feel bad if it happens. It's like me with the 7th Estonian. You know, everyone was saying it was bad, but I kept being undefeated with them. But yeah, it is indeed a strange choice. I'm thinking maybe the players got the idea to support each other by combining these divisions, but I don't know. It doesn't look like it from the deployment.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm not a huge team player, but I understand the concept of one guy going strong early, one guy going strong late. Kind of covers both your angles there, but it also doesn't focus you at all. You know, you're not focused to win early and you're not focused to win late, so are you just kind of handicapping yourself to winning on either zone?
Yeah, well, yeah, or going for the long game. It looks anyway. It looks like the Germans here, they got two strong division. I mean, I don't know how Lovas fares in team game. I know in 1v1 it got
majorly buffed.
got a bit. Yeah, exactly, and I think that's going to be an interesting battle. You have.
And we don't, you and me both are both 1v1 players, but I mean, the map is definitely interesting. It's very big. We have two main towns here, I think, that are going to get fought over a lot. There's one in the center here, and then we have the one over, which, are you turned looking, I should say, which way are you turned? Are you down the center here?
Blue. I got the blue on my left.
Got the blue on your left, okay. Whoop, there we go. So we have this town in the center here, and then we have a town up north. With flags in both of those. So I imagine those will be heavily fought over. And then we have this forest area in the middle, the hill on the top. That is definitely, it's a lot more open than it first appears. Definitely a dangerous spot. And then we have this hill down south. And the blue side gets this huge forest, and all red gets is this little town structure. I have a feeling that's definitely, now I don't see any beacons from blue to attack this, but on first glance at this map, that seems like a really big vulnerability. Blue does not have a weakness like that on their side at all, but the red have this horrible flag that's right there with no cover around it other than these little buildings.
That's definitely the case, but for that same hill there in the south, it could be an advantage. The way I see it is you could easily hide a lot of tanks. Well, Node Commander, well, he's playing the 358, but for any division, you could easily hide tanks into these houses and shoot the enemy. If he wants to go at you, kind of needs to expose himself or go in that little forested area for tanks. But I think it could be used as an advantage. Also, you could be placing bazooka infantry on that slope where tanks right now they couldn't even shoot you if they wanted to.
Definitely.
Yeah, I see the disadvantage, but I think we need to go check for the positive here. It could be used to the player's advantage if thought well.
Yeah, and I definitely think, I mean, if we look, there's two major hills here, and I can definitely see things going really poorly for either side if they lose either of their hills in the middle here. If red can grab this middle hill, which they already kind of get most of it, that gives them a huge sight lines onto all the reinforcing roads. On the flip side, if blue can grab that southern hill, that of course gives them great sight lines into the town below and into over this river crossing, and basically red can be fully pushed off that hill, and similar to blue can be easily pushed off their hill as well. So I think that could be a really interesting place to push.
It's definitely something interesting, and blue will get blue. It's going to be a pain in the ass for the middle town if both red player gets the hill there, which could be easy to do for them.
Absolutely. Well, let's hop right in. Let's see what happens here.
All right, so let's start this game in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right. Remember to hide that panel. I always forget.
Yeah, no, I just did now.
So we definitely see down south here. Node Commander has a huge bunch of sappery PPSHs pushing in those really fast Jeeps. That is the big advantage of the Allies. They just get so much faster stuff at the start. They can get in so quick.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the reason you would want to play the Allies. You can get right in the face of the enemy. Although, you know, the sappery PPSH are not that strong, but they're definitely annoying. Definitely.
Yeah. Now it looks like here Mr. Plasmid has taken the south. Mr. Badger Jelly has taken the north, Von Lucy is up north, and Node Commander is down south. It looks like they've done a clean cut down the middle, but on the flip side, that has kind of left the middle of red very weak. If you look at their middle area, they're not deployed very strongly onto that hill at all.
Well, there's just one sniper in one unit. This is I don't know how I feel about that. It's pretty dangerous, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's very, and especially it looks like Badger Jelly might take advantage of this. He's got a big bunch of Huzaroks and things coming up there. Up north, we have our combat beginning.
There you go, and the machine gun started firing.
And early
already
80 mil. Early 80 mil flak.
It costs 110 points. I think it's a big waste there, especially for a town fight.
It's gotten some kills already. It looks like red's pushing onto this hill. They do not want to get pushed off. And all that Mr. Plasmid is sending is basically just Erzatstruppen. There is a Sturmschützen mixed in there. Not very strong.
I think the Erzatstruppen could do well in the forest if they hug the heavy forest and just start shooting at the sappery from a distance.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's pushing for it. He's being smart, and I'm hoping he leaves them in the forest here because that's where they belong.
Well, you know, them being sappery, they do have the Panzerfaust, so they could try to go a little bit forward, I'm thinking. But who knows, right?
Yeah.
26 are taking weird position down there in the north, in the south, sorry. From Node Commander, he's leaving them in that patch of forest, which I don't know. They should go inside the forest, I think.
If anything, I would say I understand he's trying to cover a lot of ground, but he's just going to get picked off one by one by this massive Erzatstruppen. Up north here, the combat is going pretty heavily. We already have an early Falcon Wolf 190 hitting some of his Legionaries.
It looked like the center hill is definitely going to be taken by Badger Jelly there. There's absolutely nothing to stop them, really.
Yeah,
there's a ZIS-2, I guess.
A Stug 3G, is it going to get stopped by the ZIS-2? Let's find out. Oh, sight damaged. Oh no.
Think the ZIS-2 will win that?
Oh no, it's on APCR. I think it's on APCR.
Yeah.
Oh no, the shot troop, get him.
Oh man, that was close. That was a close one.
And now the T-26s can dominate with all their power.
Plus, they got help from the bomber there, the Tu-2S.
Now,
But,
Mr. Plasma's making a push down south into that forest we were talking about, and currently he did get a group of, I can't say that, it's actually Stiki, I believe, flamethrowers, but they are going down very quickly. Oh, he's got a lot of tanks, though. He's got a lot of T-26s back there.
But they're all gonna die to these Sentry as soon as there's two. Oh well, there are some M42s
Mixed in, yeah. That's a dangerous little line he's got there.
You know, he's sacrificing his first flag there. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, Von Lucius pushed into the flag into the forest up north here, picking up a point. They are up currently 15-11, the Allies.
There's nothing to stop them. Even though Badger Jelly's on the Vanguard income, he doesn't have a lot going down in the town up there, and he's separated his troops there for combat in the middle hill.
Oh no, and he's got his leader up front. I just made a video about infantry micro, and it's really dangerous when you square select your infantry and tell them all to move forward. For some reason, the game always puts your leader in the front. It's the most annoying crap.
I don't know why they would do that. It took me a while to realize that too before I...
Oh, it's terrible. I made a specific note. I was like, never group select more than 2 guys at a time, because they will create these weird, stupid formations that are horribly built and just get your guys killed. That 80 mil mortar is getting mortared by those fabulous...
yeah, there you...
Whatever you... 81 mils with the radios. Oh, those are so good.
Mortier, yeah. Yeah, exactly. These 80 mil, it's a waste of point. It's way too close to the front line. You can get shot down by even machine gun fire, you know, if there was one.
No cover at all. It's not the place for it.
I expect better from Badger Jelly, honestly.
And then, his whole push, he had flamers that got caught out in the light cover and are just getting wiped by this group of bimps. It's sad to see.
It's going very, very bad. On the side note, there, the Germans in the middle of the town. Mr. Plasmid is doing pretty well. He's got a lot of Ersatztruppen. He's not using those mortars though on the tanks, which is unfortunate, but he does have that fucker wolf coming in to support against the T-60s.
Well, yeah, and I definitely think no commander needs to be more aggressive with those T-60s. He's seeing only Ersatztruppen. They can't do anything against those T-60s. He could be using those way more effectively, because those are autocannon tanks. They could be just making... There we go. He's finally moving them.
Yeah, I think he understands now that he needs to do something. Although, right now, there are 2 trees from Plasmid and Turan from Badger Jelly coming in for that town. So...
he's got a lot of time, though. Got a lot of time to work with him in there.
Yeah, no, for sure. But they will get pushed back eventually.
And all Von Lucy has to do is realize that the only thing holding this blue northern flag is a singular flamethrower.
Oh god. This is... he could just advance with the FFI Partisan and actually gain some ground there.
And he's losing his... Von Lucy's losing his mortars, some counter battery fire from this weird... I have never used in my life 76.5 millimeter FK MO5. Oh,
it looks like First World War stuff there.
Yeah, it looks terrible. Oh, unload, Badger Jelly, unload. All right, he did unload in time. Unload. Oh, just kidding. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh.
All this elite infantry, I think it's over for Badger Jelly. There's no way he can get back up to this forest unless airplanes could save the day, maybe.
None are coming currently. And in the center, Badger Jelly is pushing back a little bit here, but he's taking a lot of damage to do it. And that is not the place for Hussar Goloshoroshaks with their triple machine guns. The forest is not the place for them. They're wasting all their firepower.
Definitely. It's one thing with Lovas and these division with weird troops, and I mean weird just because I don't speak Hungarian or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
But at a quick glance, if you're not familiar with these guys, it's easy to get mixed up. And I think maybe that's what happened here, because definitely you don't want them in the middle of the forest like you said.
No, and especially like the 2 Hungarian divisions, they get these great, really beefy infantry squads, and you just think, well, how couldn't they be good in the forest? They basically never die. But they're mostly just rifles, and some of them have half-decent machine guns. None of them are very close range. None of them are like CQC infantry at all. So they actually suffer a lot in those close-range combats.
If you look at Node Commander, he's brought an ISU 122 to the game. So these do have the AP shells, 200 mil.
Oh, those are the really
It's gonna
strong.
go right against the Nashorn too, so that's gonna be interesting to see if they fight against each other.
Oh, every time I go up against an ISU, I lose. I hate these things.
Yeah, well, especially with a Nashorn, it's so fragile. You know, it's not gonna tough long there.
Oh, that ISU does 10 damage. It kills everything in one shot. It's always crap. your tigers, everything dies to it in one singular shot. It just feels bad. But it didn't even matter because the Zis-2 killed the Nashorn anyway.
Exactly. So they won't be any great duel.
No showdown for us.
He's starting to take town below. He's not going to push further into town, although he could, but he's a bit busy there in the forest.
Badger Deli is finally making a little bit of progress back into this forest. Here he has kind of wiped out most of Von Lucy's infantry, and he has some of them caught out in the light cover right now, so that's definitely a plus for them. They're back to a 13-13. Oh no, a P-47. Oh!
I'm really surprised he was able to beat these elite infantry. Now the Legionnaires are coming. They should do some damage. They have the TNT with them. A bunch of Legionnaires together in the forest is killer.
And down south here, too, it looks like Node Commander has been able to push back that whole push by Mr. Plasmid. And Mr. Plasmid is bringing in a MG42 to the forest. Not the place for that.
It's indeed an odd choice. There is an off-map tube behind it. I don't know why the machine gun there. Maybe that's all he's got left, but it is the start of B phase now, so we'll see if they bring something more.
Yeah, you'd think that would... With Falcon Wolf 190 coming in, let's see what it's going for. Probably that Zis-2, but it's not going to make it with that 25 mil. Uh-oh, flying into some other stuff here. Those 25 mils are extreme. Like, they're so much better than the 20 mils. I think it's stupid how much better they are.
And I don't know the logic behind that.
Yeah, I don't think 5 millimeters would make that much of a difference. Now, unfortunately, we're now at a 1610, a double tick now on Badger Jelly and Mr. Plasmid.
I think it's the round per minute. You know, it got 157 round per minute, whereas the regular 20 mil, I don't know what they have, but I don't think it's anywhere close to that.
Nowhere close. Okay, that would make sense. So it looks like Mr. Plasmid was about to open up with his four 81 mils finally, but it looks like he got the kill on that. Yeah, he got the kill on that 25 millimeter AA already.
He's used some of them on the T60 earlier.
Yeah.
Or mortar like that can be very deadly.
And now up north, Blue has been totally pushed out of this town. They're already setting up some 105 millimeters, some 57 millimeter AT. I don't.
It's
Blue's
over.
not getting in.
Badger Jelly's not gonna get out of that. He's losing in the forest there. He's losing in town. He's bringing a Hetzer, but it's just gonna die to everything that's there.
Yeah, and he's got some kind of not great infantry going into the woods here in the center to try to counter the much better infantry. Now he does have an 81 mil mortar. If he uses that effectively, it could really help, but he's got to get some rounds on target for that.
Yeah. Like there's the Toldi coming in, but there's a lot of bazooka infantry into these forests.
Yeah, it's not the place for your... Definitely, I hope he's not planning to send any sort of vehicle there. And now this 105 millimeter howitzer is just picking apart his... Oh, and now the P-47 just finished the gob sooner. That would be an example, though, I would say. That P-47 was really unnecessary. Von Lucy already had the 105 millimeter howitzer hitting that pack. He was going to kill it anyway. It was just kind of a unnecessary risk.
Yeah, but look at him. He's captured the whole town. I mean, he's just using it for leisure.
I understand, but for the sake of, I would argue, still got to play good. Still, don't make mistakes. Keep the foot on the throat, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. Just because if I was in his place, I would use all the planes I could. I'm dirty like that, so I cannot understand him.
Now down south too, Node Commander has basically fully recaptured this southern hill and is pushing Plasmid off. Now Plasmid's coming with some Sturmschutz, and he should do well if he can get them grouped up. He should do very well against these Strelki with those.
Definitely, it's almost it's a half and half down south there. They're both fighting for town. They're both fighting for the hill. There's no clear winner there.
Now, Node Commander finally realized he had no chance in that fight. He's on the run. But he's got that T-60 in the middle of the light woods, and there's not much, he's not going to be able to get those Sturmschützen in range for their little hand-thrown grenades.
Oh, but he would be able to destroy the machine gun, though.
Yes, that forest machine gun. Oh, who doesn't want one of those?
Look at the TU. He's going to bomb his own troops, I think. I think that's going to be...
Sacrifice for the greater good. Oh, but the damage was definitely on the Sturmschützen. Ouch.
Exactly, it did kill one, so I guess it was pretty good after all.
Yeah, I mean, it basically killed both. Those two guys aren't doing any damage now. And those Ersatztruppen down in the town aren't going to last long against these T-60s.
They are, what is Plasmid calling in anti-air and one artillery? Yep, he's calling in artillery. I think that's the last thing he needs right now.
Yeah. Just a reminder for newer players, artillery is, at least when I think about it, is more for when you're ahead. Every time you call in artillery, you're not bringing in troops for the front line. And actually, if you note, those we now have Badger Jelly bringing in troops down south. It looks like they're starting to mix a little bit. Badger Jelly really trying to help solidify that southern flank, or at least make a push where they feel like they can, because the north is now cut off to them completely.
Yeah, there's no point to keep pushing up there. That's for sure. Plus the P-47s are coming in, raging. Yeah, if they could get back to south, there is a chance they could still be competitive, but it is 17-9 for the Allies right now.
We also have some Sturmschützen coming into that forest. Those could really help if you can get them in there quickly. Oh, but we have Chars. We have a whole bunch of Chars coming in, which are Shermans, for those who don't know. They're just fancy names for Shermans that the French were using.
Char just mean a vehicle in French. It's
really?
Un char. Like you say you're going to use your car, j'ai utilisé mon char.
This is why I wish I grew up not in the United States, because I would know more than one language, and it would be useful.
Well, you know, you still got time to learn.
Oh, I'm horrible with language. I wish I was better. I'm just not.
It's hard to speak a language when no one in your entourage speaks it either.
Oh yeah, I spent a month in Italy, and I actually did start to learn Italian successfully. And of course, once I left, that was gone in about a month.
Exactly, you know, and that's how I learned English as well. I went to an English province. I lived there for a while. I had to learn. You know, I lived in an English province for so long. Eventually, when I came back to my French province, I actually forgotten some words in French, and it's crazy how just a couple of years can do.
Yeah, it's crazy how much you learn it from necessity. Up north here, we are Falkenwith is driven off, and I mean, if you look at Red has built such a beautiful defense in the northern town. I have to admire it for a moment here. Look how deep it is. I mean, there's no getting through it.
Although the anti-tank guns are out of the forest,
oh yeah,
they're not in cover at all.
They're terribly placed. But the fact is, he's got 6 more layers. He's got 6 more layers of stuff anyway.
It's pretty deep indeed, yeah.
He's about to lose his leader in the forest. Oh, Lord.
There you go, it's gone.
And I will note for people watching, we always complain about vehicles going into forests. I would argue Shermans are some of the few tanks that at least can kind of go into the woods. They turn so quickly, and they have so many machine guns that they actually do all right when they're placed in the woods.
You pair them with a recon or some infantry around, and they're definitely going to do some wonders there. You can notice that Plasmid in the center town, he doesn't supply his mortars, and I feel like he could really need them right now, and he could clean everything there with the mortars, but it doesn't look like there's well,
and he has built a huge he's built a huge line of troops down in the south. They definitely have the advantage there, other than that T-60 in the middle of everything. And I mean, they could recapture this flag if they played this right. And then they have 2 Stug 3s sitting out of the forest. I mean, not that you want to send them into the forest, but since they have no other option, I mean, I wish they had some sort of... There's some Panzer Shreks. Okay, calling in some Panzer Shreks down there. That could solve that problem, but they only have 5 minutes left to do it, and it's going quick.
Yeah, there, I see them. He's never unloaded his artillery, even, so, like, a big waste of points right there.
Oh, that is... Oh...
And even you see that
and he called them in. I don't think those are the. I can't really tell, but I don't think those are the ammo versions of those trucks either.
Oh, because they cost 0 points, so that there's no supplies in that.
So yeah, you would only get a few seconds of usage out of them anyway.
He's calling in another Nashorn there in the middle. I'm probably gonna die just like the other, and that's 80 points. I think it's a lot of combined mistakes like this that eventually, that in 4 minutes it's gonna cost them the game.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't think it was necessarily a lot of micro mistakes. I think it was mostly macro decisions that really screwed them here. Sending bad infantry in, like, no, I shouldn't say bad, but the incorrect type of infantry into woods and things, and on the flip side, Reds definitely were sending the right type of troops into the right type of places, and this gave them a huge advantage.
Exactly. So they just did more mistake than the other guys. But you're right. Their micro, the way they play is fine. You can see their experience.
Yeah, they're retreating when their guys are getting suppressed. They're responding to issues and things. They're not, I mean, there are definitely mistakes happening, but we all do it, right? You call in a bunch of guys thinking, oh, I'm going to make this attack. Something pulls your attention. Your dudes are sitting there in their trucks.
Exactly. Look at that. The commandant never got out of his jeep either.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad.
Oh.
A big push there in the forest down below, and they're definitely good. They're gonna raise everything, but I don't think they'll do it in time though to make an impact on the game.
No, they're still gonna be double ticked. I mean, they got 3 minutes, but they're still gonna be. Finally, the Panzerschreck got in range of these T-60s. I do think Red used their light armor really effectively. I think light armor is really underappreciated. If you use it well, it can really swing because, it's so cheap. It's not a big deal to throw it into forests and things into towns.
That's
and,
true.
If you don't have a lot of AT infantry, which the Lovash really don't, and since Mr. Plasmid basically only called in Urzat's troop in at the beginning of the game, he really had no AT infantry either. Those light vehicles can really, they might as well be Tigers.
They're almost invincible in these situations. And look at the T-26 that I personally thought it was a mistake to take. They're still there. They're 3-star. They're still defending their bits, and they did their job. They stopped the early push, and it helped them fight for that forest throughout the whole game.
Yeah, I think I wish Badger Jelly had used his Tyrans a little more effectively, because that's where they shine. Is those light, they fire really fast. They can do a lot of damage. Up at close range, they don't shine as tanks. They shine as basically like recon vehicles almost. You would use them normally as, and I don't think he used them aggressively enough at the beginning of the game.
Look at Plasmid now is calling 2 Nebelwerfer, but still hasn't unloaded his previous. What is going on there? And calling 2 Nebelwerfer, there's 1 minute left to the game, and
yeah, and not only
that.
On top of everything else, those are 105mm junky artillery. Like, they're not even... Like, I would understand SK-18s, which are the good versions of the 100mm artillery, but the just straight-up 105mm, they're so bad.
I wouldn't know. I don't even use...
Oh,
I never use
German,
that
plane literally just killed 6 squads of infantry down in the south, the TU.
Ouch.
Oh, that was horrifying.
Here comes the elite flamers coming in to reinforce Red.
Oh,
Zachiski.
that was one of the greatest bombing runs I have ever seen. And they have so many troops in this far. I mean, we all know the game's over, but man, the dominating position we're seeing here is just... I guess we're not used to seeing this because we're 1v1 players, so you're never this... There's never this much of anything on the board. And if there was, you would have surrendered like 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I just recently got into team games, and I would shy away from them because of 10v10s and things like that. But 2v2 really looks interesting. I wish I actually gotten into that a whole lot earlier.
Yeah, we should play some 2v2s. I used to play 2v2s in Wargame all the time. Like, I never played 1v1 in Wargame ever. I only ever played team games. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. There you go, and P. Tanner wanted to get some PvP going as well, so I'm sure we could arrange something. There you go, this is game.
If we check out the stats here, oh yeah, the disparity is significant. Badger Jelly and Mr. Plasma didn't even break 1,000 kills. If we look in the kills here, let's see if there's anything interesting. We got some. I mean, this Zis2, this Zis2 wiped out so much stuff. Oi, oi, oi.
And it doesn't look like Mr. Plasmid is the player with the most experience there. Unless Node Commander is, I can't check his profile. But out of the Von Lucy Badger Jelly, Plasmid has a lot of experience. Oh wait, actually never mind. The game was bugging on me. No, Plasmid has 38 multiplayer games. Badger Jelly, well, we know him. He's got Badger. Oh, okay, Badger Jelly is the most experienced player with over 1K MP games.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of strange choices in that, especially call-ins of artillery and such at times where they really could have just used more boots on the ground. Now, maybe they were out. We don't know what their dex builds were, but I have to imagine they still had troops. We can see here at the bottom of the kills for red, their TUS. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 7 infantry squads that got deleted in that one bomb drop.
I didn't get it on video. You got it on your end?
I didn't get to zoom in, but it is on there, yeah.
All right. Well, if my viewers want to see that because I missed it, I'll put the link to your channel down below, and yes. I'll just prep them a little bit just to say that I don't really check tutorial channels, but I've checked your videos. They're well done. They're professional. Your intro is great. I love seeing it. I even showed it to my wife. She was impressed. And just to tell all my viewers, Attack Power Gaming is a really good Steel Division channel. You still do Warno as well, I think?
I'm touching on it. For the time being, it'll be mostly Steel Division 2 stuff because me personally, I'm not loving Warno yet. It's not hitting the right buttons yet for me. Now, of course, there's only 2 divisions. It's very linear. You play the same game over and over again. Right now, it's cluster spam. So that's super fun. A week ago, it was helicopter spam. So, they're working out the kinks. So it'll be a great game eventually, I'm sure. I gotta say, love your channel. Your channel is one of the reasons I got into YouTubing. So thanks for having me on here. I hope we get to do it again. And I'll definitely be starting to cast some more games on my channel as well. Once I fill out all the tutorial things, people keep asking for more stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? I want to get more people involved in this game. I think this is one of the best games there is personally at the moment. I think it's just such a well-designed game, and it's got its problem. We all love to complain about Eugen because we can, but the fact is they have a great game on their hands here, and I hope they continue to support. I'm really looking forward to that Italy DLC.
Yeah, they do have a great game, and like you said, it's easy to complain, but you gotta think, whatever decision they do, it's gonna make some people angry, it's gonna make others happy. It's really hard to balance things out. It's impossible actually to please everyone.
Yeah, and when you think of how far this game has come, we started the game out with 20 some divisions only. There's, I don't know, how many are there now? 60 something?
There's about 80 with the Italy division.
yeah. And that's great. It's awesome. I love that every time I play the game, I can play a totally different division. The original ones were a little bit copy and paste. The first couple divisions were certainly, this game started out a mess as well. I remember all forms of spam and other things that we had to go through and I think at this point it's a pretty balanced game overall.
Yeah, it's everything is counterable with the right mind, and I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Well, thanks again for having me on here, Badger Jelly, Hobotango. I appreciate being on here, and I hope to be on here again with you.
I hope so too, and thanks for participating as well. It was pretty fun.
Oh, and most importantly, all y'all listening, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, do so, and go check Attack Power Gaming channel. Really good channel.
You all have a fantastic night.
Thank you. You as well. Have a great night, guys. Goodbye.